In today's video, I will demonstrate you how to get way more performance out of your braided line. So since I will start praising this product in a minute, I have to mention this. This is not a sponsored review at all, and I couldn't care less whether you will decide to purchase this product or not. In this video, I'm sharing my experience, my information, and what I have found after almost a year of using this product. It's called 303 Aerospace Protectant. Also it says here, ultimate UV protection, prevents, repels, non-greasy. And this spray is really magic. I used it for about a year now, and there is no a better way to protect your braided and most likely monofilament or fluorocarbon lines as well. But don't quote me on monofilament and fluorocarbon lines, because I'm using for all my fishing just braided lines, and this stuff is awesome. So what happens when you spray this stuff onto your braided lines? And I noticed really only good things with no negatives. And I'll try to explain those positives in 5 separate points. So point number 1, once this liquid is applied onto braided line, then you'll be able to cast a little bit further. It's not a huge difference, but you know, a few percent. Let's say if you would cast with the same setup, maybe 50 meters, once applied, maybe you'll be able to cast, you know, 53, 55 meters or so. It's just like a few, you know, like maybe 5% if you are lucky. So, but it's a little bit further, which is a positive. Again, another point, or point number 2, would be the strength. So the line, it's not getting stronger once this applied, but the braided line kind of remains as strong as it was on day 1 or when it was when new. So this is very, very important. In my opinion, very, very important feature this spray gives to the line. And I really noticed on all of my rods, you know, when I started using this thing, I want to say I'm using it for about a year, maybe a little bit less. And once I started using it or applying to my reels or lines on my reels, all of a sudden all my braided lines became strong. You know, when I try to break, you know, on the snag or something, they are just stronger. And this is very, very good and important quality. Another thing is exactly as it says, you know, on the tin, UV protection. So it prevents the fading of the color of the braided lines. And it's really, again, a positive, because when you have a braided line that is, especially if you like, you know, like bright, like pink, orange, and so on braided lines, they do get, you know, washed out, they do get dirty. This stuff prevents all from all of that happening very, very well, and it's a good thing in my book. I really like how this spray handles the stiffness of the braided line. It's kind of almost like magic. I can't really kind of see the lines getting stiffer or braided lines getting stiffer when this is applied, but what I noted that I do not get nowhere near as many tangles, especially almost no tangles around the last guide, you know, on windy days and so on, when ultralight fishing, for example. This stuff, I don't know how, but it just most likely it will be just minute, very little kind of improvement in stiffness, and it is enough, you know, to have very long casts and no tangles. Fantastic. Property number 5 of this liquid is that it does not affect animals and plants. You see, you can get this in marine version, meaning, you know, that it is designed to be sprayed on things that are submerged or get in contact with water, meaning that it's safe. And like on the back, it only says, you know, keep out of reach of children and pets, meaning, you know, just as long as you don't drink it, you know, you should be fine. They put the same thing, you know, on soap, like liquid soap, and we use it on daily basis, you know, there's no issues at all. So yeah, it should be safe for the environment, even though I do not know what it is. I just trust the disclaimer on the back there. And now when it comes to application, really two ways. Let me explain and demonstrate both. So one way. So I will grab my rod here, and let's say you have a rod with a line that you want to apply the spray quickly and efficiently. Obviously it's not the best way, but it's, you know, lazy and easy way. So basically you just spray it onto the braided line, and you want to make sure to get all the wraps of the line sprayed with this stuff. And then you have to leave it dry for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. This is not a product that dries out quickly. It takes a little bit of time, meaning, you know, that the liquid has a time to penetrate the braided line and maybe a few layers of it as well. So yeah, after you applied it, it will take a few minutes. Also, what I haven't mentioned, how long it lasts. It's difficult to tell. It will depend, you know, what kind of fishing and how often you are using it, or your line for this spray. But I would say somewhere between 5 to 10 sessions and up to maybe 80 to 100 hours, you know, of fishing time. This spray has an effect, and then you have to reapply it, so it lasts very, very long time. Basically, you can apply, you know, once or twice during, you know, every few months, you know. It lasts very, very long, so that is very impressive. So that's one way. I'll put this rod down now. And way better way to apply it is when you are starting with a new line, you know. So let's say you have a nice spool of line. Then obviously you want to use some sort of like a winder. These things are awesome. They are cheap and you just must have it, in my opinion. And it just makes, you know, life so much easier. Okay, we got our line. So let me clamp it down now. So you'll be able to see what I'm doing exactly. Maybe I'll go at an angle, just like that. Boom. Okay, that's good. And now obviously you just thread your line through the guide. If I can. Then you secure, you know, your line onto the spool. I don't like to use knots. I just, you know, like to simply start winding it, meaning I don't have any knots. And if I will hook that big fish, you know, I prefer it to go with a line. Then with a rod. So we got that. So a few turns of the reel. So now it's nice and secured here. So then you grab a little bit of a kitchen sponge, you know, just basic one, and you just need slight little piece, like small piece. You don't want to be, you know, consuming and using too much of this liquid. And then all you do is just like 2 sprays maybe. Maybe I'll do 3. So we got that. Oops. Maybe I need more. But basically you want it to be like saturated that you just can almost squeeze out the liquid. Yeah, okay, this is perfect. So, and then all you do really is just kind of use this little piece, grab it with, or wrap it with your fingers above the guide, and then I just will back off. I hope you can see the process here. So as you can see, I'm just holding just like that. And yeah, it's easy peasy. I won't do it like, you know, with all of this line, but that's the idea. And the last time I checked, or when I bought a few of these bottles, it's quite expensive stuff. I believe it costs somewhere, or costed me around 17 to 18 pounds per bottle. But since it lasts so long, probably by buying just one bottle, it will see you, you know, using it for a few years. And also another bonus of using this stuff is that you can use it not only for braided lines, you can use it for any equipment, plastic equipment that you have, you know, outside. People use this stuff on kayaks, and I actually started using on my, you know, plastic kayak. It really helps to protect it for a good few months from UV and, you know, dirt and stuff. It just feels like new. Also, I'm using it for my kayak racks, you know, that are on my car, like, you know, padding, should I say, on my racks. It helps to protect the color of the fabric, you know, the padding too. So many uses. And once again, this is not a sponsored review in any way, but this stuff is awesome. Not cheap, but awesome. And I mentioned a little bit about monofilament and fluorocarbon lines. Again, I'm not using those lines, you know, on my reels, but even though it's kind of not tested, but I'm pretty certain that this stuff will work very well on those lines as well. It will, you know, protect them, will make them kind of keep their strength and so on and so forth. So great product, and you should try on monofilament lines too if you need it to perform better and last longer. Yeah, I will leave a link to purchase this product on Amazon, and yeah, it should be available in some countries. At least it is in the UK, but on the back it says here made in the USA, so maybe it won't be available in all the countries, but let's hope you'll be able to get some. And what it is like when it comes to the contents, I did try to figure it out, you know, what is it, just, you know, to maybe find, you know, cheaper products with the same contents. Yeah, they are not sharing it, so sorry, I can't share it with you because I just do not know. Other than that, try it out. You'll be very impressed, in my opinion. I think I rambled enough. I shared everything I wanted. That's it. Thanks for watching. Over and out.